Hi, it's Tiffany Lorraine Galloway. I'm the host of the Resilient Mother podcast, and I started it because of my own journey to resilience. I've done everything I can to gather resources, true stories, and inspiration, and now I'm bringing that to you. And I have a new co-host with me.
So I'm Catherine Tyson Soil, and mothers, we are creating the future. So Tiffany, you and I were on this train together, and I'm very excited about bringing amazing women's stories, mothers, help and resources and excitement, and just learning from you and learning from me and learning from all of us just how to be resilient, how to take care of ourselves, how to take care of our children's, because as we say on the Resilient Mother podcast,
happy mothers, happy children, happy homes is the goal. And that's
and welcome to the Resilient Mother podcast. I'm Catherine Tyson Sewell. I am the co-host, the host of this show, and Tiffany Lorraine Galloway and I are here to catch up with mothers to chat about resilience. And today we're talking about resistance versus resilience, but we're going to talk with Dr. Regina Inem because she has a great story and I'm really excited to just get into that. So thank you all so much for joining us. Hi, Dr. Regina. How are you?
I'm doing great. Hi. Thank you for having me on the show.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for saying yes. Tell me something. Where are you hailing from? Let the audience know, where are you hailing from?
Okay. Speaking from Nigeria. I'm a Nigerian. I am based in Lagos State.
All the way from Nigeria. See, ladies, we are bringing you a lot of diversity and people from all around the world. And as mothers, we all connect in one way or the other. So I'm just really excited about just being a part of the podcast and being able to bring my, sister from Nigeria onto the show today to chat with the audience. Now, tell us a little bit about yourself. You go ahead and introduce yourself. That was going to be the best thing, and then we'll start chatting. Tell me who you are. And that's a loaded question. When people ask us fabulous women who we are and what we do, we're like, what do I say? But let's see if you can try to help us out a little bit with tell us a little bit about yourself, Dr. Regina Inem.
Okay. First of all, I'm a mother, a grandmother, a humanitarian. I love children so much. I love helping people. I love youth. I love widows. Not that I want anybody husband to die, but I love helping the vulnerable.
Right.
And I'm an educationist, and I'm also a minister of the gospel. I love God so much too.
Okay. Oh, that's amazing. That's incredible. We need so much more of that in the world. So I know Tiffany will be excited about that because we talk about that a lot. We talk about her faith and we just talk about, what faith does and just how we're being lifted and we're being carried basically every day of our lives. We're not doing this on our own. And that's also a good message for our mothers, for them to know that you're not on your own. So that's awesome. Now, you are the executive director of Regamos Foundation. Can you tell us a little bit about what the Regamos Foundation is, and even from whence it came? Like, when did you start, and what's your main focus?
Okay, thank you so much. Regamos Foundation became incorporated 2020, 2nd of March, and we are passionate about transforming lives, transforming the lives of the youth, widows, transforming the lives of the female child that is abused, transforming the lives of the less privileged. So, how do we do this? We transform lives through education. So, we have a social enterprise in the foundation, a school. This school is for parents that can't really pay school fees. We offer quality education. We offer the Nigerian British education for very, very giveaway price. And we have scholars also in our school. We also empower young people through different empowerment schemes, but we are very big on tech. because that is the new oil. In Nigeria, we talk about oil so much because we're oil producing country.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we are very big on youth empowerment, and we do a lot of empowerment around tech skills, leadership skills, entrepreneurship skills. We also
Yeah.
empower widows. So for the widows, initially we started giving them money, but we discovered that that wasn't sustainable. So now we directed our energy in building businesses for them, and we mentor them. We also make them
Okay.
accountable so that they're able to progress in the business. We also work with orphanages. So we presently we've worked with 5 orphanages, three in Lagos, two in Abuja. So
What is
what we
that
do,
exactly? What is that?
orphanages, we have homes for those that children that don't
Okay.
have parents. Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Or orphanages. Okay. Okay.
Orphanages,
Absolutely.
orphanages. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, it's the
So
accent. Okay. Yes. So you're working. Yeah. So you work with it sounds to me like you're working with the husbandless, but you're also working with the motherless or the fatherless. So
oh
lots of
yeah.
yeah. So you're working with a lot of very vulnerable communities. Now this theme for this month is really about resistance versus resilience. And to me, it sounds as if you're kind of like matching in the middle of just teaching people how to be resilient, even though there's lots of resistance in their lives. So what are some of the tools that you do? You did mention that money wasn't sustainable, like the saying has been from a very long time ago. You give a man a fish, or you teach a man to fish and he eats. You give a man a fish, he eats for one day. You teach a man to fish and he eats for the rest of his life, right? So that's what it sounded like. You recognize that within the widows. What are some of the things that you help to kind of assist just the vulnerable people with the to be resilient really in their lives?
Okay. For the widows, they are most of them, the income is not very strong. So the first thing I do for them is build their faith in God. You see, once someone is hopeless, there is nothing you can do. There is nothing you can do to bring that person to move forward.
Right.
So the first thing is give them hope. Make them believe that tomorrow will be better. So
Absolutely.
once we do that, we start helping them bit by bit. We let them understand that sometimes, even in growing businesses for them, something might happen. The first widow we actually worked with, had 3 children. And interestingly, our case was so different, so peculiar, and so heart touching because she she's a young widow, less than about early 30s. You can
Wow.
imagine, early 30s.
Yeah.
And sometimes she keeps crying, and at the time that I met her, I myself was going through a struggle. I told you I call myself, I'm a mother of an empire. To have 7 children is no
Right.
small deal.
It's a whole team. It's a basketball team. It's a sports team. You're right. It's a lot. Yes, I have three.
It-
So I'm a mother of four, actually, three adult children and one little baby. So I know that adding three to that is something.
yeah. So I have my own problems. I don't have problems. I have my own challenges. And this is a widow that have a very terrible situation. So I had
Right.
to help her, not because I had so much, but because I must see that she survives.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I started out helping her. She was into uh, fish. She sells smoked fish. So what I
Okay.
did was to expand that business for her because I can't keep giving her money every day. It's not sustainable.
Right.
It's not
Right. Right.
sustainable. So so what I do for widows, first of all, give them that hope, make them trust God, and help them build the businesses, and sometimes be there for them because sometimes, the taking care of children single-handedly without the father could be very overwhelming.
It is. It is.
Overwhelming, yes. coupled with economic crisis, it's going to be
Yes,
terrible. So
absolutely.
sometimes I need someone to
It,
talk
it,
to.
it's hard enough, the job itself, much less when you don't. Yeah.
Yes.
So not having enough money just makes it that much more challenging. And I think it's really interesting because you're speaking, and I talk a lot about my journey as a single mother. But I was a single mother at 26, and my marriage broke down, and I started my single mother journey. My children were 6 months, 4 and 5. However, their father passed away almost 12 years later, and that was a very, very different journey than the journey of being a single mother. So, being a single mother by choice and still having the support of the other parent is a very different situation when that other parent is no longer on this earth. So I think that in itself kind of speaks of that resistance that you're dealing with in life, and how do you pivot? How do you remain strong? How do you get back on track? Because that is huge. So the work that you do is very, very, very vital, because in a lot of ways it's providing that support system that now has been lost.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
And I think as a mother, you must be resistant because
Yes.
the truth is that women are stronger than men
You think so?
emotionally.
You think so?
Yes. Yes, I can tell you that. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, the way women are wired, you go to work, you take care of the child could fall sick. As you handle the sick child, another has misbehaved or something else has happened, and you're able to absorb all this. Men, you don't even, by the time the trouble is much, they look the other way. I tell you, I've experienced it. They look the other, but women, we are so, I say we are resilient and resistant at the same time. And this
Yes.
and this make any woman that is resistant and is resilient, I tell you, is a great success. It's a great success, it's a great mother, and not just a great mother, a successful mother because the children will also prosper.
I
I
love you.
tell
I
you.
love. I love that you're saying that, because it's true. And I think when why I said really you believe that is because I know a lot of men would say it's the opposite. But those that are honest would say, women do have a lot more roles than Men do. Fathers generally, they do the big, the big strong stuff, right? They manage the home and they take care of it. But inside the home, how many things do women have to do? Like for instance, you and your husband, when he says, I'm going to bed, he just goes to bed. When you say you're going to bed, you get up, you check lights, you check the fridge, you check the you put a load of laundry in. There's so many things that you do before you can actually go to bed. So I think like the infrastructure that women do provide to the homes and to families and to the children is so much work. And I believe that men would honestly be able to say, yeah, that's true. So being resistant and resilient, as you just said, as a woman, as a mother, is really very vital. So I absolutely appreciate that. Now I know you said you have 7 children, and what are those ages of those children?
Okay. My first is about 30, early
Okay.
30s. Then I have the second one is in his late 30, late 20s. Then we have that the youngest is about 12.
Oh
Then I
wow.
have, yes,
Okay.
yes.
The big age gaps there, yeah. And yeah, and so that must be interesting. Now here's a question: what is it like parenting now, today, than it was 30 years ago? What's the difference?
Wow, wow. Today, you must be um, very vigilant. You must try to be uh, young. You must also try to be ahead. It's tougher to be a parent now than it was years back. Very tough. Sometimes I wake up at night, in the middle of the night, and go check what the children are doing. Years back, you wouldn't do that. You sleep and you know that you're sleeping. But with the advent of tech, having that phone, having that laptop, having that iPad, you just have to wake up and crawl into your room to see what they are doing. And let me just
Wow.
tell you a funny
Yes.
story. About 2 years ago, I was sleeping, fast asleep, about 12 midnight. I just woke up. A voice told me, "Where is your son?" And called the name of the son. I said, "He's sleeping, he's on the bed." He said, "Okay, check on him." I stood up, I checked on, I went to his bed. He wasn't there. I started moving from room to room, and I saw him in the toilet with his iPad browsing in the middle of the night. I was so upset.
Wow. Okay.
I gave it, I'm an African mom. So, I disciplined him, and that was the end of that nonsense. So the thing is that parenting in this generation is is far is more difficult than it was many years back. And again, because they are exposed to a lot of external factors with the advent of this tech, so they have friends you can't really control. So you have to do a lot of mentoring, being their friends, talking to them. I tell my children, whatever happens, please tell me first. Whatever it is, just let me, no matter how bad or how good it is, let me be the first to know. And sometimes when they tell me crazy things, I have to hold myself in my mind of like, oh my God. But outside, I'll say, oh, really? Okay, nice. Okay, nice. Okay, sit down. Can we take a pause,
Right.
please? So,
I love that because I say that also that you just have to bite your tongue. You have to hold on to yourself so they'll keep talking because you want to hear it. You need to hear it. And sometimes there are things that you're like, oh my gosh, don't. But if you're not knowing, then you're in the dark. So that's absolutely right. Now it's funny because you're saying you're speaking the language of most of the mothers that are watching, that are watching the podcast and that are mothering. Is that these days, all of the technology is amazing. It's helped our lives in so much ways, but it also can bring some added dangers or added things that make your mothering journey a little bit more difficult. So that in itself is also resistant versus resilience because you appreciate it, and but there are some things that you either have to flow with or you have to resist. And I think that that's really, really very interesting. And being vigilant as a mother, like absolutely vigilant, right? And ensuring that your children are aware that you are around and you're not going anywhere. You're checking and making sure that their world is safe. Absolutely. I think so. Yeah, for sure. Now, I know you also have a book, Unleashing the Power of You. Can we talk a little bit about that?
oh, okay, yes. Unleashing the power in you. Um, I believe so much that we are gods because we are created by God. If a dog gives birth to a dog, a lion gives birth to a lion, we are created by God in his image. So we are gods. And the power of God is in us. But most time, if you don't understand the power within you, you will begin to chase the world around for solutions. The solution is in you. Whatever strength you need is in you. Whatever power you need to make that difference in your life, in the life of others, is in you. It's nowhere else but in you. The only thing you need to do is to come in and tap into the potentials inside of you. And that is why I wrote that book to help people discover who they are,
So,
knowing that
so
you're
how do
powerful.
you how do you unleash the power?
Now, the best way
How
to
do you
unleash the
unleash the power in you? How do you let that? How do you get it?
okay, the best way to unleash the power in you is to know who you really are. The person that has created you is to have a relationship with God, to have a relationship with God, because He is the one that will make you know more about yourself. He has the manuscript about you. You don't know, you only know a piece about yourself. You don't really know all. And that's why there are a lot of so much hidden potentials that we don't even discover about ourselves. It is in the place of a relationship with God. that it brings to fore a lot of those potentials, those giftings, those things in us. So unleashing the power with you means building a relationship with God. And he will begin to tell you more about yourself because he has the manuscript. He created you. It's just like those that makes the refrigerator. They make the manual. You need to read the manual to understand how to best use the refrigerator. We are created by God. You need to let he that has created you tell you the manual. So when you're now in his purpose, why he created you, because we are all created for a purpose. No one just came to the world for nothing. We came on a mission. We all have a mission to fulfill on earth. And the best way, the only person that can tell us why, what we are here for, it is he that has created us. So it's
Yeah.
to build a
Yeah.
relationship with him, to know his will and purpose for you, and to walk in that. That is the way you can easily succeed. For example, let me use myself. I never knew I was called to help people. I know that as a young girl, I loved helping. I could give you my last, whatever I had, and go my way. And when I was young, people were, I get to a fault that people started asking me, how can you give sacrificially? I never knew it was a gift in me. It took me close to 50 years to know that that was my calling, giving. And that is why I do it with, I give lovingly with all my might. Whether there's, I have abundance or I don't have abundance, I give whatever God has placed in my hands, you know. So it is important to discover your purpose on time to make your journey on earth easier. Very important, yes.
Yeah. Very, very
So when
important.
you read
And
that
you
book, you
said
get
something.
more. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. And where can they get that book?
it's on Amazon.
Okay. So they just have to go in and put in Unleash the Power in
In
You.
you. Yes, in
Unleash the
you.
Power. And that's Dr. Regina Inem. All right. So I think that's a great book. That's something that people could be really, trying to figure out, what's that power in us? Because I think it's so important for people to really realize that circumstances and life doesn't just happen to you. Like you literally are a player in it. And sometimes things can happen, but it's how you react to them and how you resist them or how you flow with them, right? And so that power that you can kind of grasp onto is so important because now you're seeing your life from a different standpoint, as opposed to it just has to have bad luck and things just keep. No, actually, when things are happening, what's going on? What are you learning from it, and how do you move forward from it? So I think absolutely. Now I know you have a lot of awards that you have, so you must be like like you're almost like the go-to person in Nigeria. So if I get off the plane in Nigeria, I can say, who is Dr. Regina Inem? They're probably going to say, well, she lives
Uh,
down there. So you're pretty popular there, so you're doing a lot of work for many years.
to God be the glory. It's not. It is God that is. We are a vessel in His hand. We are pencil in the hands of God to use to write.
Yes,
You know,
yes,
whatever. But we are
yes.
only doing His work.
Yes, yes. Thank you for that. And we all have our talents and our gifts that we've been given, and we're supposed to use them to make the world a better place, right?
Absolutely,
For
absolutely.
this wonderful new year, what give us some advice, give us some tidbits, something that there's that young woman that's watching, or that older woman that's watching, and she's like, oh yeah, life is not so colorful for me, and I'm very bored, or I don't feel like fulfilled. Give her a little words of advice, or something to fuel her and this wonderful new year. Give her
Okay.
some Dr. Regina Inem.
For every woman out there, you are a masterpiece created by God. Inside of you is wealth, riches, and you only need to tap it out. There is power in every part of your being. You speak into being what you want. What is it that you want that you not like about 2024 and you want it changed in 2025? Begin to speak it into being. You are creators, you are gods. You speak and it is done. So begin to speak that positive words. I am great. I am I am the best. I am a multi-billionaire. I am the greatest mom on earth. And it will begin to come to be. Do not be afraid of anything. Fear should never be part of you. Also, trust in God. You see, when you have trust, you have an anchor. You look at the ship. The ship has this anchor. And no matter what, nothing can drag the ship from the shore. If you don't have that anchor, you'll be drifted and be tossed around, and the, the, the interesting things in life will deal with you. 2025, tell yourself, I'll be a victor, not a victim. Yes, you'll be a victor and not a victim. And whatever bad circumstances you've experienced in 2024, turn it to an experience, learn from it, and tell yourself, I will turn this to my advantage for my good. Yes, I can tell you
I
instances
love
in my
that.
life that terrible things have happened, and I turn those things as stepping stone to greatness. Yes. So
I love that.
you should never be disadvantaged. Don't feel disadvantaged. No way. Use everything, whether good or bad, to your advantage. Know that one, you are a victor, you are great, you have greatness in you, you have great potentials in you, and you are a God. So rule your world in 2025.
That is beautiful. Thank you for that. I'm telling you, listen, I mean, all of that beautiful stuff that you just dropped, I love it. For the ladies that are watching, the mothers, that was Dr. Regina Inem. Tell them how they can find you on your social media stuff, but also if they want to, maybe they want to assist, in a program that you're doing or something, maybe they want to be a part of it. Some people are, things are burning in them, and people that are living in the United States or the United Kingdom or Canada or different Asia, different parts of the world where they have more in some cases, they might want to share, right? So maybe there's something that you're doing that they might want to be a part of. So let the ladies know where they can find you, because hey, if they need a little bit more Dr. Regina Inem, I want them to get it. So we're bringing it here from the Resilient Mother podcast. We're bringing, people from all over the world. But if you want to reach out to them, let them know how they can reach you.
Okay, you can get me on Facebook on Regina Inem, and you can also get me on LinkedIn. I'm a professional mother also, so you can get me on LinkedIn. I'm not too popular on Instagram, but I'm there on Instagram. But you could get me more on Facebook and on LinkedIn. Also,
Okay.
on Facebook, there is a write up I do weekly. It's called Creating Your World with Words. So you could check it out and get motivated with those words, because we are all creators. You use words to create and shape your world. So you could
That's
tap into
yours.
that. So, yes, it's
Creating
mine.
your world.
World with words.
Sorry, creating. So it's creating your world with words.
Yes.
Okay.
Creating your
Awesome.
world with words. Yes.
And they could always reach out. Yeah, and they could always reach out to you as well. They can always reach
Yes,
out to
yes,
you,
yes.
if they're interested
Absolutely.
in being a part of anything, and especially if they're in Nigeria also.
Yeah. Yeah. I get a lot of messages, on Facebook. Once you click it, you get into my WhatsApp space, and we share, and we could support each other. I'm always happy to help. I'm gifted to help, sent to the world to help.
Yes, because it's not through you; it's through God, right? It's
Yes,
God that's in
yes,
us that
yes.
that is even giving us the opportunity to bless.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We can do nothing by ourselves or by our power, but only through the power of God. Yeah. And again, my second book will be released by the end of this month. It's with the publishers now. It's called The Hand of God. So you could also watch out for my second book.
What was the name of it again?
The Hand of God.
The Hand of God.
Yes.
Okay. Awesome. All right. And you can find her on Amazon right now. You can go and check it out. Dr. Regina Inem. It is Unleashing the Power in You. If you're interested in anything, follow her on Facebook and catch up with her. Thank you so much for joining me today on the Resilient Mother podcast. It was just brilliant talking to you. You ignite something, you bring this joy. It's around you. I can see it. It's like this light, and that's amazing. And we want to talk about when resistance reaches us, what do we do with it? Resistance versus the resilience. So thank you so much for bringing that for us today. And obviously, we're going to be following you, and we may just ask you to come back on to talk about that other book.
Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you so much as well. And I want to thank everybody for joining us this whatever time it is in your world for the Resilient Mother podcast. I am Catherine Tyson Sewell, and I am a co-host of this show with Miss Tiffany Lorraine Galloway. And of course, we're just here trying to build better communities and better moms with love and with faith, as well as hope. We always want you to have hope. So you guys have a great day, and like, follow, share. Please share this with your network. Send this on to the ladies and anyone who's interested in being a guest. Of course, you can reach out to us. Thank you all so much. Take care. Bye.
Thank you for joining us today. Please don't forget to subscribe so we can share this message. We are a worldwide podcast with guests all around the world, and we want to continue to grow this community. You can find us on socials. You could also be a guest. Look for that link below if you'd be interested in being a guest on the podcast. If you know a sponsor or would like to be a sponsor, please reach out to me or Catherine as well.
Sure. We want you all on this journey. We want to hear your stories. We want to share your stories. We want to gain strength from each other, because together we're stronger. And to never forget the blessing of being a mother and what we're creating. We're creating the future every single day of our lives. So get on this train with us and let's do this thing, moms.
I believe in you. Believe in yourself. God bless. And we'll see you around. Take care.